Alright, so today is Thursday, October 6th. Yes, it's October 6th because October 5th was Chucky Day and that was yesterday. So I've got a few unrelated things I want to talk about in this video that I'm kind of looking forward to. I just brought up Chucky. I didn't even think about talking about it, but fuck it, I might as well. Season premiere was fantastic. I'm a huge Survivor fan. It's been one of my favorite shows forever. I've been watching the new season. It's pretty good so far, but I realized I was way more excited for the season premiere of Chucky than watching another episode of Survivor, which is something I never thought I would say ever in my life. But I had so much fun watching it. We've already got multiple Chuckies. We possibly have Andy Barkley dying in the first, 5 minutes, which I highly doubt. I feel like if Andy Barkley is going to die, they're going to make it unequivocally clear. But we didn't see a body, so he's probably fine. Most of the ads have shown the kids being in a Catholic school, and at the very end of the episode, they go in there. Chucky blows up a fucking kid at the end of the episode. The kid's whole thing was oh yeah, he's a big classic Batman and Robin fan. He's always oh yeah, holy, whatever Batman, the old 60s Robin. And after Chucky blew the kid up, my brain immediately was holy infanticide Robin. It's that's so bad. But watching this show, that's the kind of mindset I go into. I'm going to have a good time watching crazy, insane bullshit because that's what Chucky is. That's what Chucky lore is. So I'm so excited. Great first episode. Can't wait to see more. The other things I wanted to talk about. So if you're one of the, very few people that actually watch my videos, follow my channel, first off, thank you, because sincerely appreciated. But you've noticed I haven't done anything for football videos this week. This is the absolute sincere reason why. Monday, I was sick. I felt really bad and just couldn't do shit. Tuesday, also did not feel particularly well. And I had a big thing on Wednesday that I also needed to prepare for. Wednesday, did the big thing, and then after I was I kind of don't want to do a whole lot of anything else. I just want to play Kuro. And then today, I just haven't gotten around to doing it. It was mostly just, hey, with my free time, I just want to play Kuro. But I still want to make football videos. I think what I'm going to do, instead of doing here's a reaction video, here's a picks video, I'm probably just sometime during the week, around Tuesday, Wednesday or so, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday morning, whenever I'm off in that particular week, just kind of go team by team. Okay, this is my analysis of how they performed the last week. Here's kind of some of the big takeaways. Here's how I think they'll perform in the next week. And here's kind of some of the couple storylines going on with them. I want to see if that's something I prefer doing. I still want to make picks. I think I went 7-9 last week, which is still below 500. A lot better than it was the week before. I actually noticed the week before, my afternoon picks, the early games, I got most of them wrong anyways. But the afternoon and then the two prime times, all of that shit was wrong. This week was the opposite. I still, there was a lot in the early window that I missed, but then all the afternoon games, all the primetime games, aside from Thursday, so the Sunday night primetime, Monday night primetime, got all those right. So I was that's an improvement. I'll fucking take it. But since it is Thursday, say it's a Thursday night game, and it's Colts-Broncos, which at the start of the season sound like a huge game. Russ is in Denver, so they look really good on paper. The Colts were that close to making the playoffs last year. They were the team no one wanted to see in the playoffs, and apparently that included themselves. But, it's all right, they got rid of Wentz. Wentz was the problem, which I can't even put that in air quotes because he doesn't look that great with the commies either, aside from week 1. But anyways, it's they got Matt Ryan. That's a huge improvement, and so far it really hasn't been. This is not the big, crazy primetime game we thought it was going to be. This is kind of a mid-off, and I do at least want to get my pick out there, but I don't fucking know. They both don't look that good, but Denver looks better. Indy's one win was they kind of failed upwards and somehow beat the Chiefs, whereas the Broncos, their defense is really fucking good. So I'm going to say Denver wins, but I thought I would at least go and get that pick out there. The other couple things. The Mario movie trailer finally came out. I was thinking about recording my live reaction to it, right when it came out, and then I was I don't really want to. I guess I just kind of won't. And by the time and then when I watched it, I kind of realized I didn't miss anything by not live recording it, because I didn't have like a crazy reaction like, oh, whoa, this looks crazy. You're like, dude, this is so funny. I'm like, this looks very solid and I want to go see this. That was my reaction. I think Bowser looks fantastic. I think Jack Black's voice sounds really good. It's like, I can tell it's Jack Black, but it's not like Kung Fu Panda, or like, oh, that's just Jack Black. He's doing a voice. Kevin Michael Richardson is like, oh, I couldn't recognize him as Kamek. I'm like, I know that voice, but that sounds nothing like him. And I can slightly tell that Chris Pratt is doing a voice. Like, it sounds like there's a little bit of an accent there. But in the couple lines we heard, it mostly just sounds like he's being Chris Pratt. I think I've heard that he might be trying to do an impersonation of the show from the Super Mario Bros. Super Show rather than the actual game. But I don't know, maybe in like more trailers, I'll kind of have a better idea of really what he sounds like, what I think of it. Oh yeah, you also get Keegan-Michael Key as Toad for like 2 seconds. So like, yeah, I can definitely tell who that is and that he's doing a voice, but I freaking love Keegan-Michael Key, so I usually will just say fuck, but there I said frick, but he deserves a fuck. I fucking love Keegan-Michael Key. There we go. Keeping it consistent. But trailer looks good. Mario movie looks good. We didn't get anything from Peach. We didn't get any Seth Rogen DK. We didn't hear Luigi say anything, but we heard Charlie Day make some Luigi grunts, and I mean, I don't really want to judge a voice based off just a couple grunts, but the grunts sounded fine. Like, they sounded very Luigi-esque, so early impression, good shit. Looking forward to it. The other thing I want to talk about is Kuro no Kiseki, Trails Before Dawn. I am not yet finished with the game. I'm about 55 or so hours in. I just finished the interlude, and so like the opening cutscenes of chapter 5, of which there are 8 total, including the prologue, final chapter, and the interlude. It's 5 numbered, and then those 3, so it's like a total of 8. So I've done 6 of 8, so that's... I can't do fractions off the top of my head, and that's like 2/3, 3/4, or some shit like that. I've done most of the game. I've gotten used to the gameplay. There's some parts of it I still don't particularly care for. I think are kind of weird, or like the action combat, it's very bare bones. It feels like it's just kind of there. I don't love it. The turn-based combat is still fun as fuck. I really, really like it. The writing, there's times where I think it doesn't quite work, but that's mostly just like, oh yeah, there's a line here that I didn't super care for. Oh, there's a couple lines there. I'm like, that was trying to be funny. The humor in that line didn't click with me. The other, I don't know, 95% is fucking fantastic. This is easily the darkest game in the series. Like, Clay and I, like, as we played the majority of the games, I think at this point, he hasn't played Kuro, he hasn't played Reverie, and neither of us have played Kuro 2. We're probably not going to do that for like 3-4 years or whatever. But anyways, we've kind of have a bit of a joke of how almost no one dies in this series, and in Cold Steel and in Crossbell in particular, it was really noticeable. Like, there's this whole big terrorist event that happens pretty late in Crossbell, and I was like, man, like, this is crazy, shit's going on. Oh, no one fucking died. Like, this felt like it was this big deal, but there's no real consequences to it. The Erebonian Civil War in Cold Steel 1 and 2, it's like, oh man, this is crazy, and I mean, I still really like it, but for a whole Civil War, this was pretty bloodless. And then Cold Steel 4, you have a whole fucking World War. I'm like, oh, bro, what the fuck? I mean, I don't want to see people I like die, but you still have to... I mean, if you're going to hype up that this is a world war and the casualties are going to be insane, go through with it, at least to some degree. Kuro feels like they heard those criticisms, but I bet. There's so many, like... There's a lot of side quests that involve fucked up shit. There's one where this dude's like, okay, man, I was looking at porn on my work computer, and I was looking at, like, the nastiest shit possible. Like, he's literally saying this to the party, and he's like, oh yeah, but, like, some dude, like, he hacked it, and now he's trying to blackmail me that he'll, reveal what I've been looking at, and that'll destroy my reputation. There's one where you're trying to stop a guy from committing suicide. There's one where this woman's like, hey, my fiance disappeared. I don't know where he is. He's in a gang. Can you go find him? Then you find out, no, he's dead. He's been dead for a while. And you have the option to either tell her that, I'm sorry, we found out where he is no longer with us. Or you have the option to tell her he left you for another woman because that was in his last will and testament. Or it wasn't like a will, it was like a letter he wrote to a friend. He's like, if something happens to me, I don't want her to know I'm dead. I feel like it would hurt her less if she thought I moved on. And no, I told her that he died. I thought that was a way... I feel like lying to her would have been worse, so that's what I picked. And I was like, man, this is, like, really interesting. Like, I like these choices, but man, this is pretty fucked. You have the ending of chapter 1, which is fantastic, but dark as hell. People dying. Like, people... It's kind of become a bit of a drinking game for me. Not that I'm actually drinking every time. Like, I don't actually do that. I kind of say that as a joke. But every time I see someone die, I just kind of go, oh, take a shot. But it happens at least once a chapter, to the point where it didn't happen for the interlude. And I was like, that's a little weird. No one's died yet. Is this the same game? And then I got to the ending. I was like, oh nope. There it is. Oh boy, there it is. I don't want to go into spoilers, but for people who have played the game, I got to the kaboom. Holy fucking shit. That was the first time I have teared up at a Trails game that had nothing to do with Sky. I cried 5 times in Sky. I did not cry anywhere in Crossbell, but Ren talking to her parents got me close. I cried in Cold Steel 3 when you visit Hamel. I teared up a little bit at the end of the interlude. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a big cry. I'm like, that counts. You still got me. My props. The interlude has been my favorite part of the game so far. That is a big reason why. But the boss fight with Shizuna was fun as hell. That was probably the hardest fight in the game so far. Just because, like, I've got my setups. I have not really, I'm playing it on Nightmare, and it's very rare that I feel threatened. I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I've got this. And this has been one of the only fights where I felt like the enemy basically said the exact same shit. It's like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing too. I've also got this. Like, she's not kidding. Holy crap. Absolute blast. What was some of the other shit? Like, I tend to really like the intermissions and interludes in these games because it's just the characters relaxing, and I like that. I got to see Lucrezia's, like, her whole face, and she is gorgeous. Like, what a beautiful woman, so that's a dub. And just some of the fun Oh, there was also the quest at the start of the game where you find out, I think Paulette is the name of the woman who runs the bistro, and Yume is the name of her daughter. You get to find out who Paulette's ex is and the father of her child, and I really, really loved that quest. Like, this is so good. This is so interesting. The whole game to me has been fantastic. I think up to this point, Chapter 2 has been my favorite, and then the interlude happened, so I'd probably say the interlude, Chapter 2, Chapter 3... I think Chapter 1 is alright. I think it's solid, and then the ending is phenomenal. I think Chapter 3 is just really fun. I loved Aaron's story in Chapter 2, or Aaron as I frequently call him. Like I said, I fucking love Key and Peele. So I think that was about it. Chucky was great. Probably gonna rework how I'm doing football videos. Oh, I don't know if I actually did pick a team, but I am going to pick the Broncos to win, although I am not confident in that at all. Mario movie trailer, good shit, looks good. Kuro has been fantastic. The interlude has been the best part of the game. I think that's about it, so I'll see you later then.